The Murderous Savagery of Jeremy Carson by McJunker. The timeline of Mr. Jeremy Carson's descent into murderous savagery was easy for police to reconstruct. On Halloween morning, he took the household hatchet, a small tool designed for turning big chunks of wood into small chunks of wood and hopeless as a weapon, and used it on his wife Hannah and their two children, Olive and Jeremy Jr., aged 6 and 4 respectively, instead. CSI reports indicate that the hatchet was dull, so Carson must have been swinging that axe very hard indeed. The neighbors reported the screams, but it took a long while for an officer to respond, for Halloween is a busy day for the police. At 11 a.m., a freshly scrubbed and clean Carson bought a series of items from a series of stores. Prudence prevents one from describing such groceries, so suffice to say, they were the kinds of things that trigger panic among FBI agents when bought in bulk. Fertilizer, copper wiring, small electronics, chemicals, ball bearings, car batteries. Let us not dwell on the specifics. Carson paid by cash and card and was caught on 4 different cameras. Loading his pickup truck with $2,500 worth of material, he went home to assemble his Halloween surprise. The officer still had not arrived to find the bodies. There is evidence to suggest that he built his bomb in the family bathtub. Where Carson learned such a skill, well, who can say? The internet can be a magical place at times. The officer arrived right as Carson finished his bomb at 6 p.m. On November 1st, they found the cop partly eaten, but still alive in the basement. His eyewitness statement was damning in court. Carson's plan was almost banal. The bomb fit in his trunk snugly. He waited for the street to fill with trick-or-treaters, picked a moment, and... The cruelest part was waiting in ambush from his second-story window with a .308 rifle to cut down the EMTs when they showed up to address the carnage caused by the blast at 9 p.m. He timed his surrender perfectly. Just before SWAT turned up at 9:40 p.m., Carson threw down his gun, flopped face down in his front yard with his hands on his head. Witnesses reported he couldn't stop giggling as they dragged him away. The curious part of this horrible story is that the next day, Carson had no memory of any of it. He had no idea why he was in handcuffs in jail, why the cops were roughing him up, where his family was. He looked convincingly shocked and distraught when he saw the pictures of kids caught in the blast zone. He couldn't explain the evidence away though, so he went to the chair after only one appeal. How could a man do that, you ask? Just go crazy and forget? What gives? I'll tell you. Humans like wearing monster masks on Halloween. Well, we like wearing human masks.